Hi, everyone. Welcome to assignment number 2. As we talked about in class, you're going to be writing a memo from the CEO, and this is worth 20% of your mark. So here's the scenario. Using the elements of the communication strategy that we developed together in class, and you can see the link at the bottom to that finished strategy, or at least, it's finished as far as we need it to be for this purpose. Please write a memo from the CEO that introduces staff to the new intranet site for WKRP Corporation, which is called My WKRP. Your assumption is that this is the first formal and official announcement about the initiative. So you should also assume that it represents the first time employees are hearing about the initiative. And I think in our communication plan, the timeline we established was that it's probably about 2 weeks in advance of actually launching the intranet site. So you can use that timeline if you like, although deviations are fine too. That's not the main point. The main point is, writing the memo. So memos get written often by CEOs and often by the communications people on behalf of the CEO. We're ghostwriting for them a lot. So it may be kind of an outdated way of communicating internally, but it still happens all the time. So I think it's a skill set that you really need to develop. Your memo must be consistent with the work that we did in class today. That's Friday, July 30th, that outlined the elements of the comm strategy. So act as if those are our key messages, those are our strategies, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to have to, if you go beyond that, you can make stuff up as long as it's not deviating from the comm strategy. But if there's additional things that you think need to be shared, go ahead and just make it up. The key messages must be clearly and appropriately represented, right? So we talked about how the key messages that we've listed are not what we say necessarily, but they need to somehow be articulated and represented in the CEO's memo. So get those across somehow. The structure must be appropriate with a logical flow of messages and supporting information. And the structure must include everything the employees need to know, including how they can learn more. So everything they need to know at this point, right? Don't bury your key points. And when I say don't bury, I mean don't put the main things that people need to know down near the bottom or way down in the middle, right? Tone must be accurately reflected. So this gets a little bit trickier in the writing department because in addition to everything being needing to be grammatically correct and written according to CP style, we have to try to convey a tone through our writing. So it's something that we all need that will all be challenged at, which is good because you need a challenge. The memo should come across as warm, friendly, caring, and respectful. Strive to reflect the desired professional image or personality of the CEO as a member of the corporate team. So we want to make sure again that this is following CP style and has no errors of spelling, syntax, grammar, punctuation. Super important when you're writing a memo from the CEO because whatever you write is the CEO's voice and you do not want employees to think that the CEO makes errors in those areas. The length should be no more than 300 words. It can be less, it could be 100, could be 200, 300. Probably have a hard time getting it into 100, but maybe you're amazing at getting things into short. Shorter we write is often the more difficult, but we don't want it to go longer than 300 because no employee wants to read a memo from the CEO that's longer than 300 words. The rubrics can be found on the Nexus site as well as the written instructions if you want to read those further. If you have any further questions besides this video and the written instructions, please reach out to me by email and we can chat. So good luck with that, and I look forward to seeing your memos.